Hello, how are we doing everyone? Today we're going to be going over how I'd make this five-figure trader to get to 100k plus every single month. Because right now I've been speaking to a few people and he's in the mid five figures range. So this is what I do to get him to six figures. So to start off with, I just want to show you his current Instagram. So his name is Josh and he's a futures day trader. So just spot out a few good things. His name is good with a good verified badge. This isn't too bad, so he's getting some sort of inbound there and SEO. So same thing. He has some good followers, so it will help with authority. And when people search up futures day trading, because he's verified, he's got plenty of followers, he is going to actually show up and he is active because he is posting on his story. For the bio, it's literally a one line. It doesn't have any enticement. It doesn't create him as an authority figure. It doesn't give any reason for people to DM that. There's not enough context behind it. DM Doc to learn my full trading process. People want more than that. They want some value. And then there are free links. He has a VSL, I believe. In fact, I'm not too sure. He's got, I know, a YouTube in the bio, and he's also got something that he's referred to. And then this third one is VSL, which I believe isn't working. Um, and then here, big problem. So we need to be able to message, especially because the only thing in the bio is DM Doc, which refers to DMing you. At the minute, it's only a follow button, so you will literally be getting no inbound at the minute. So you'll basically have to do everything through stories, which I do mention afterwards. Wins, clients, testimonials, good. But what I would do, I'd make the profile picture the same as the first one. It just adds a bit of familiarity. That's the word I'm looking for. Clients, good. I just don't think these photos actually sort of match the text, if you will. You want something that matches each one. Clients doesn't match. Wins sort of does. Testimonials could do, but we need something a bit stronger there. All these little things do add up. And then going on to these, I feel like it's really quite dark. You need to work on making more, at least two every single sort of week if you can. You want to just work on getting so much lifestyle pictures, because lifestyle builds authority. If people want the life you live, they're going to trust you a lot more, everything that you say, and be a lot more likely to take the next steps. So without further ado, let's get into the changes. So I would change the profile picture actually, only because it's quite dark. It doesn't show your face, and having faces, that you can memorize builds a lot of trust. And when you're posting stories, people are going to be more likely to click on that. So something like Smith Reese's brilliant profile picture and Armid's great profile picture, something just along these lines, clean, looks good, you're the actual priority in the picture. You can have a background as long as you're sort of facing the front and you can see your face. I've slightly changed it, slash adjusted the name fields, futures day trader and mentor, so there's extra touch points in there for SEO. And then we have the TRN, just looks a little bit simpler and a little less sort of tacky with the up and king emoji. And then we have got a bio which is structured beautifully actually. So straight away we have a line of authority, like this guy is the fucking shit. This is basically what it's trying to imply. Authority, six-figure future day trader, so he knows his shit. And then I help traders stop over trading and follow a proven system, sort of like a proof of concept, and also just like what he actually does and how. And then we have a DM CTA with more context. CTA. And then we've got something for free here. And what they're going to do, they're going to see this and they're going to be able to click the YouTube down there. Now, the DM doc, obviously this won't work. You'll have to remove that if you cannot get this sorted out, because I personally can't get it sorted out because mine is currently a teen account. I'm in the sort of stages of trying to get it removed so I can actually start getting people to message me. So at the minute, what I'm having to do is really rely on stories. So daily I'm doing CTAs, so running a lot of sequences. I can sort of show you what I mean. I don't think I have any on this board in particular, but this is just something what it looks like. So I'm having to run them every single day, just to pick up the people inbound, which is a pain, but it's what you have to do if there's nothing you can do about it. But for you, because you are over 18, you shouldn't have a problem. So we've got the bio sorted, we've got the solution to that. If not, you're just going to have to post consecutive story sequences to pick up the new people daily. So onto the links in bio, YouTube. So important you have that in there, because people aren't always going to be ready. So they need somewhere to go to be nurtured, because I want you to understand the 7-11-4 rule. I'll do it backwards, it's easier to explain the last one because that's more where the point is at. 4, so it's 7 hours, in fact I've sort of forgotten it, I've got out of the swing. 7 hours, 11 touch points across 4 platforms. So I'll quickly go over the platforms. So platforms, this is your Instagram, this is your TikTok, this is your YouTube, this is your email, you know, all different platforms that you're seen on. And then the touch points is, let's say you tweet, you sort of your lead sees it, then you tweet again, your lead sees it, that's 2. Then you post an Instagram video, your lead sees it. They see a YouTube video, the lead sees it, so on, so on, so on, so on, with all these different sort of platforms. Could even be literally just messages on WhatsApp, you know, they're different touch points. And then the hours is how much content needs to be consumed. So that's why nurturing through YouTube is the best way, because if you're thinking of it, Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels, anything short form, that's, you know, 3 minutes max of content, you know, consumed at a time. You know, even if you had 100 videos, that's 3 times 100, which I don't know because I'm about to drop out of college, to go all in on this, by the way. So I don't know, but it's nowhere near how fast you'll be able to consume it up by watching YouTube videos, because you're watching videos which are 30 minutes long plus. You know, obviously there'll be ones less, like 15, 20 minutes, but average is 25, 30-minute videos, and that gets consumed a lot faster to get to the 7. But I do just want to clarify, that's not for everyone. It does sort of depend the sort of market you're in, how well known it is already, and how much of an authority you are. For this guy, for Josh, you're probably looking at 3 hours of content, because trading is already a very well-known niche, but that's why you need to build a lot of trust, because it's very competitive. But it's got that sort of already understanding about it. It's more just letting them know you are the person to go with, if that makes sense. Sorry for saying all them likes, that sounded highly unprofessional, but it is what it is. Then VSL, we'll come back to that because I've done a whole thing on that. And then the story highlights, we want maximum 5. Anything more looks unprofessional, anything less, you're not using what you have to your advantage, because right now you're just using 3. Really important you make the most out of it, because they are a brilliant way to get extra authority, build extra trust, and give them something else to sort of do if they're not quite ready to take the next steps. So we obviously had these 3 already, so we can ignore them, but a start here. This one is an insanely important one. It's like a mechanism to build the authority, build the trust, because this is one of the first things people see when they land on your profile, right? So when you go on to start here, you want to do like a sequence of, I don't know, like 50, Let me show you an example of one right now. I'm still working on mine. It's going to be insane. Basically, just want to give tons and tons of value in it. And if this guy still has it, I don't even know. Damn, that's not great. That's not a great start. But start here. I can, I'll link in the description an example. I'll send a Google Drive or a Canva workflow or Google Docs, just something that shows you basically a sequence of what it looks like. But you just want to be building trust, building authority with the person straight away, and giving them insights on what it is you do, who you are, etc., and where you are now. And then ending with a CTA, giving them sort of some next steps, which could go to your YouTube, to a VSL, to DM you, whatever, right? But it's really important you can get them into the DMs, because you are 78% more likely to be able to close them if it's a mid-ticket offer or low-ticket offer, but you'll be 40% more likely to be able to book them on a call through the DMs. So what's next? So with the post, we've already actually gone over this, and it's just focus on at least 2 per week, lifestyle, and yeah, that's really it for that, because like I said, lifestyle builds authority. If you have a life that's worth living, I don't mean that in an awful way, but people will buy from you if you have something that they want. It's almost FOMO, fear of missing out, but in terms of lifestyle. So they will literally trust you if you have the life that they want. So yeah, keep in mind you need to live like your ICP want to live, and you'll do a brilliant job. Back to the VSL though. So we have something very simple. This is so simple. I've used Smith Reese as an example again. He's a great guy. Not really spoken to him much, but I've joined his calls, etc. So this is the VSL. So simple. You literally don't need to overcomplicate it. This will print him absolutely loads. But in our case, this would be a trading one. All you need is the text at the top. You can have a logo if you want. You can then, of course, the main video. I personally wouldn't have it on YouTube, only because people can actually click off the VSL and go onto the YouTube channel, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we're here to try convince them to book a call, if they are qualified, of course. But first, what they'd have to do is fill in their information. And this would be the name, email, phone number. And then what would happen as soon as this is triggered, in fact, we'll go over on this in a second. Let's just say they do all this, they press continue. That didn't originally say continue, I've just changed it for that. They'd be able to then watch the video and be able to see underneath it, book a call, which the call to action at the end would suggest doing. And people would probably click off this by now if they are unqualified, of course. So they'd book a call, they'd go to here. I've just used mine as an example. Have it 3 days max. Honestly, I'm giving so much value in this, I don't even care. 3 days max. Anything more, it's just going to get too long. They're gonna forget about it, and ultimately not be as high quality and warm anymore. Of course, it'll still be high quality. It'll just be harder to actually get them on a call because they'll forget about it. So 3 days max, and then you want to ask them all the questions here, so you can actually see if they're quality or not, right? And if they're not, just kick them off, of course. Going back to the VSL, you want this structured like this: the text, the video, and then the book a call, testimonials. You also want some YouTube videos in there, so they do have the option to click off and go to YouTube and get nurtured that way. Eventually, come back from the YouTube videos to the VSL to sort of try again and see if they'll be ready to book a call. So yeah, this is ultimately how it works. Going back to the phone number, you could have a setter just DM message you on iMessage, basically saying, hey man, appreciate blah 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 blah. I've just seen that you have registered, or whatever is sort of necessary. And then in terms of the email, what you do, what you can do is add them to an email sequence. So this is what we'll go on to really quickly. So email list, as soon as someone fills their information in, they automatically get added to an email list. And these are just some websites you could do it off. The one I recommend is MailChimp, just most experience using it. And what you can actually do with this, go on to the YouTube channel. Obviously in this case it's his YouTube channel, but if you have YouTube videos, or you can use your competitors, just go onto the transcripts on every single one of them, copy them all into a Google Docs and put them into Claude. And what you're going to want to do is just mess around with it, and eventually you'll be able to start pumping out, if you ask it rightly, to make a weekly email sequence, and you can just get it to write you weekly emails. The reason why we use MailChimp is because you can personalize it, and it's just top rated, right? So a very good one to use. And then finally what we're going to go over is just YouTube. Don't get overwhelmed about this. This is just middle of funnel and top of funnel videos. So yeah, I just wanted to point out you need to work on the consistency. This was 6 days ago, 10 days ago, 11 days, 12 days. You want to be posting a bit more consistently if the length of the videos are only 3 minutes. If they are literally going to be 20-30 minute long videos, I mean this is 16 minutes, what you'd want to do is literally just stick to one per week. You don't want to get burnt out, that's the word I was after. But because these are quite short videos, you should be doing a lot more. So keep that in mind, whatever you want to do. The next thing is there is no bottom of funnel videos, and bottom of funnel videos are your sort of case studies with your clients, your results, your proof of concept, to get people that sort of ready to take the next steps, right? That's just what you're missing. You've got the eyeballs, you're getting some middle of funnel videos done, which is good. But yeah, just bottom of funnel videos need just making, right? Next, some thumbnails need sort of changing, such as this one. It's just not enticing. Nobody's going to click on it really. That's why it's got 70 views, and all your other ones have so many more. And then this one, titles need more enticement. Same thing, like they're very sort of niched. Obviously, futures trading is sort of niche already. So you want to get, especially for the top of funnel videos, performing the best, and thumbnails like this is obviously going to do well, but you need to match it with a good title. So yeah, hopefully this, you've taken some value from this, and you can actually implement this yourself. Some things, if so, I'd love for you to let me know how you get along with it. I'm going to leave my Instagram in the description. Now, I am going to just say, feel free to book a call. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to actually book a call with me personally, where I will actually help you go a little bit further in detail in terms of auditing your whole funnel and giving you some action steps on a call. Now, this won't be sort of just silly. I will be there to help you. But yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm not going to pitch too hard. If you want to book a call with me and find out more about what I do, please do. If not, don't worry. Follow me on Instagram. If not, don't worry. But I would appreciate a subscribe and like on this video, and a comment. Let me know how this video was, and if you want to see more like this. So yeah, I'll leave it here. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.